Hi everybody, and welcome back to IGTV. We're on this week with Richard Horowitz. Richard is an accomplished attorney, private investigator here in New York, and a former member of the IDF. And Richard is going to be continuing the security update. And let's bring him on to the program now. All right. Okay, Rich, I've got you in the background now. Good morning. Just give me a quick audio check.
Hi, how you doing, Joe?
All right. Sounds good. I can hear you. So, there's been a lot going on in the industry, Rich. Why don't you take right off and give us the security update?
Well, there's a new case that's in the news, and there's an old case that's in the news. If you recall, the LAX bomber, the Millennium bomber, was going to detonate an explosive at Los Angeles Airport, December 31st, 1999. He was sentenced to 22 years. And ever since then, the prosecution has been trying to get the sentence increased. It's been going through the court system. And 2 days ago, the appeals court decided that the case should go back to the lower court and be resentenced. The reasoning behind it was that originally he agreed to cooperate with law enforcement. And he did for about 2 years, and he identified some jihadi operatives and assisted in the understanding of the shoe bomb. And after 2 years, he stopped cooperating. Had he gone to trial, his mandatory sentence would have been 65 years. He had a plea bargain for 25 years or 22 years. The prosecution is appealing, claiming that if he stopped cooperating, the plea bargain is no longer valid and he should be sentenced to the higher amount. Now, this is someone who was caught at the border, if you recall. He was caught with 180 pounds of urea, with RDX and other explosives. And the judge in the appeals court said that had he been successful at his plan, the Millennium bombing would have gone down in American lexicon like Oklahoma City bombing and 9/11.
Wow, that's scary.
Last week, someone was sentenced to 25 years, I believe it was, in Baltimore. Antonio Martinez, arrested in 2010. He was planning to detonate a bomb at a military recruiting center. The FBI got wind of the situation because he put out on Facebook that he was looking forward to the sort of jihad is going to reign over the oppressors and so forth, and looking forward to being a jihadi. The FBI used an undercover informant, and he went so far as to plan to park an SUV full of explosives at a recruiting center. He said that the jihad is not, he said this to the informant, the jihad is not only in Afghanistan and Pakistan, it's here in the States, and parked the SUV, got out, pressed the button, and then they arrested him. Also, Congress had passed a law a number of years ago requiring the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to issue a report about re-engagement of Guantanamo Bay detainees who are now out. And this annual report was issued a few weeks ago. It said that the number of those who were re-engaged in terrorism activity from October 2010 to December 2011 went up from 81 to 95, which means 95, and the additional facts, 95% of those who were released, 599 were released, 95% of those who were released were confirmed to have been re-engaged in activity, 12% were suspected to be re-engaged in activity, which means about 1 in 4 of those who were released are either confirmed or suspected to have been re-engaged in terrorist activity. And finally, we all heard about that unfortunate incident of the U.S. soldiers burning the Qurans in Afghanistan. U.S. officials reported that it was Iranian agents that were in Afghanistan that were behind instigating some of these protesters, which shows that their influence is not only local. And commander of General John Allen, the commander of the forces in Afghanistan, testified in Congress and recently and said that NATO was on the watch for Iran trying to infiltrate high-grade weapons into Afghanistan. So they are spreading their influence, and it's something that that the authorities are aware of.
All right, that is going to be the end of our first segment with Richard Horowitz, and we'll be back right after this message from the FBI. Bye now.